Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today's video is on my testing of the QuadLock waterproof wireless mount that you can see underneath my phone. Now, I've done probably just shy of 500 miles since installing it, and the feedback is really simple. It's, why the hell didn't I do this sooner? You know, when you do something and then you look at it and you think, how did I live without this before? And why did it take me so long to see the light? And there were two things that held me back with installing it. And the first one was the size and aesthetics thing, to which you're only going to see it when you're not on the bike. When you, the rider, is on the bike, you're always going to have your phone here. So that one really doesn't matter. But we are very precious of our bikes, and I always was, well, it's bigger than the other mount's more subtle and discreet. But really, it's not that big. I mean, it's not like it's mount up here where my 360 is, and you know, you can blatantly see it. I've got it in where the fork stem is. To show you, I mean, that just doesn't look bad at all. It's also worth noting here that now the ignition is off, that light is off because the battery is below 13 volts. Now if I turn my ignition on without dropping my phone, you see now it's reading that there is over 13 volts, and so it's giving me power, which is lovely. Also, it's a bit easier to put it on than the ordinary one. You're fumbling around a lot with these standard. Am I also the only person that gets really paranoid filling up their bike because they own a diesel car and just so worried you're going to put diesel in it? This is the main reason why you want the QuadLock wireless charger, because as simple as it sounds, you want to be charging your phone while you're riding. Now, because of not wanting to put the wireless charger on and going by with a normal mount, of course when you get to your destination your phone's starting to drain. If it's short runs it's not so bad, but by the end of the day you're then strapped to the wall because your phone's got no charge and you're charging it at home. Whereas now, whenever I come off my bike, my phone's got 100% charge because it's just been sitting there charging on the bike all day. I have no sat-nav anxiety where I'm riding along and you get that 20% warning and you're like, oh, I don't want to pull over and put a battery bank on. And the thing is, in today's modern world, you ride, well, I certainly ride with Waze up. Even if I haven't got a route in there, I've got it up to just show me where speed cameras and potholes and traffic jams, just so I can see where they are. I know a lot of people I ride with, they love Google Maps to just see which way the road's turning. I mean, you could argue that's ruining a bit of their roadcraft, but the technology's there to help, so why not use it? But like today, I'm heading to Super Sausage, a route I've taken millions of times. I know exactly where I'm going. However, they've shut down loads of roads, so again, I'm running the sat-nav to just get me there, and I don't have to worry. It's just permanently charging. So the second point I was worried about was the install, because you can install this in two flavors. So basically, at the time of recording, it's £70 for the wireless waterproof head. And it's £30 for the auto USB, which I'll cover in a second. So the wireless auto head comes with two attachments to it, one where you can put it straight onto the battery and another where you can put it into a USB. Now, the reason I didn't want to go straight onto the battery is because when you do that on this bike, you'll be permanently on, as in there'll be a permanent drain on the battery. On other bikes, you can install it where you can put it in front of some of the loom, and then that way it will only come on when the ignition is on. But I opted to get around that with the QuadLock Auto USB, and how that works is you put that directly onto the battery, and then on the USB you can put it on, off, on, or auto. And what auto does is it reads whether the current coming through is 13 volts or above. If it's 13 volts or above, it will give you charge. If it's not, it won't, which is great because you'll come home after a ride, turn your ignition off, you've still got a little bit of charge in there because it probably the battery hasn't dropped down enough, but within a couple of minutes then it turns itself off. But for the install, I wanted things to be all tucked away under the tank. A lot of people have a USB already under their seat, so you could nicely tuck it in underneath the fairings and not have to lift the tank and run it underneath like I did. There are options, however I wanted to do a proper job on it. But taking the tank off is not as daunting as it sounds. I mean, on here it's literally 4 bolts, and you can see from the install video it was 20 minutes start to finish on the job, so it's really not a big deal. It's not something you should get worked up about or worry. But if you don't feel confident to take the tank off, then what you can do is you can run the cable via the outside, which is fine, it's all waterproof, or you could just pay somebody who knows, about 50 quid, a mechanic or an auto electrician, and they'll do it for you. But once the head is on there, the functionality is just so easy. I mean, it's easier to put your phone on the lock than it is with the smaller mount. However, that said, when you put it into landscape mode, you have to put your fingers underneath the device to be able to switch it back round again, so that's a little bit more difficult. But to be fair, I am running portrait more than I'm not. I've been caught in a heavy rainstorm and the mount is absolutely fine. The phone, I always, whenever the rain comes down, I don't run a poncho. I should really, but when it rains I just take the phone off and put it in my pocket. Try and do this as quietly as we can. But when I got caught in heavy rain, there was no issues afterwards. The device works absolutely fine, nothing wrong with the cables, etc. Just walk in the middle of the road, lads. Because I had the mount on this before, I had the stem mount, it was just a case of literally take the head off, put the new head on, and then just run the cable to, so that was really easy. QuadLock gives you absolutely everything you need in the box. The instructions are good, there are tons of videos online, and my videos if you want to check them out. But yeah, this is a really simple upgrade that I wish I'd just done from the start. So if you're out there looking for a QuadLock, then don't mess around, just straight away get yourself the wireless charging head. If you're on the fence about upgrading, get off that fence and just upgrade. It's just so handy, you know, just always knowing your phone's going to be charged and you're never going to have an issue with sat-nav killing your battery. And of course I've been running QuadLock for donkey's years, ever since they had the issue with the iPhones and then they brought out the vibration dampener, and never had a problem as long as you're running a vibration dampener on all of my phones. And of course the vibration dampener fits lovely with the waterproof wireless head. You good? Yeah. Always check and make sure a biker is alright. Don't ever want to leave a biker in need at the side of the road. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was useful. A like and a subscribe is always greatly appreciated. And if you like little funny videos, you can follow me on my socials, links in the description. And if you want to watch the install video, it will be here at the end for you to click on. Thanks again. I think I'm going to have to do this guy in front. He does, oh. He didn't like that. Stone chip straight right in between my eyes. Is he going to go for it? I don't think he is. I will though.